I don't care that football season is going on because the baseball playoffs begin tonight. This is come win it with the ball. I don't know what I just said. It's just a bunch of words. Anyway, the only word that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Downright Sports, and I am your host, Brent Reed. This is a web series for sports fans, spoken from a sports fan, talking about sports and a bunch of other nonsense. And today is baseball. No questions asked. The baseball guy talks baseball. No need to second guess what I think. No need to second guess how I feel. I knows the game. But we start every show with, ladies and gentlemen, the must-know news. And we kick it off with bad news. I said it was an awful baseball show. But the news is a little different. And bad news for the Oakland Raiders. They're looking at anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks without their starting quarterback, Derek Carr, who is got some back issues right now. The Raiders, of course, are off to kind of a little rocky start. They're 2-2. It's not terrible, but they were one of the teams picked to be one of the best. But the division could be better than a lot of people thought. The Chiefs are undefeated. The Broncos' defense is solid, and the Chargers still suck. So I'm happy about that. Moving on. Sad news. Yesterday, the Las Vegas shooting happened, but what we did not know that a lot of us are finding out today, that rock and roll legend Tom Petty has died at the age of 66. He was rushed to the hospital and then was pronounced dead. Tom Petty has left us with a lot of great songs. Some I was listening to earlier. Here Comes My Girl, Don't Do Me Like That. There's one song in particular that stands out to me that he made. He didn't even like the song, but he wrote it, and when it came out, it was a bigger hit than his actual album. And Quit Dragging My Heart Around with Stevie Nicks. He actually wrote that song, and when they released the song, it came out the same time his album had dropped, and the song was a bigger hit. So go figure. But we will miss you. I remember Tom Petty from songs like Free Fallin' when I was a kid, and then he did a music video where he was like the Mad Hatter, and I just remember that. God, I can't think what that song was. I'll be looking for it all day. Would play Tom Petty, but YouTube has a strict no pay, no play policy. So I don't feel like getting my show taken off again, okay? And then finally today, oh Captain, my Captain, Derek Jeter, the new owner of the Miami Marlins, takes over today of control of the team. There was a press conference earlier I did watch before the show came on, where Jeter said, we're going to evaluate, look at what we need to change. Nobody's fired as of yet, but the team needs to change, and we're going to embrace the Miami culture first. We're going to make sure that the team is more of a community team before anything. It's no secret, if you know baseball, the Miami Marlins play in a Latin area where baseball is dominated by Latin players, but in Miami has not yet broken through. So we'll see if Jeter can change that. I think maybe I'll do a show on what he can do, and maybe Jeter will watch, and then they'll hire me, and then I'll do the show from Miami. How about that? Anyway, when we come back, the topic, the baseball playoffs. I love it. This is Downright Sports. Last year, the baseball world was taking on a tizzy. 108-year streak or 108-year curse came to an end. Last year, the Chicago Cubs played the Cleveland Indians in the World Series, where one team had to break a streak, or had to break a curse. Cleveland hadn't won a championship, the Cleveland Indians, that is, in like 50-something, 60 years, where the Cubs, theirs was a little more dramatic. They had won in over 108 years. So somebody had to win, and last year the Cubs won. But that was last year. This year is a whole new year, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the topic, and it is the postseason. What? Yes, the baseball postseason begins tonight. Baseball a few years ago added a new first round, so to speak, one-game playoff. The best two wild card teams will face each other in a one-game playoff. The team that wins goes and plays the team with the best record. Tonight, my team, the New York Yankees, will face the Minnesota Twins, and I am afraid because the Yankees notoriously whoop on the Twins, but this could be it. This is a young Twins team that does not care, kids. They don't have a care in the world, and they're throwing out Santana, who won 16 games this year and only lost 8, versus the Yankees' best pitcher, Luis Severino, who won 14 games and lost only 6. Where this could be dangerous for the Yankees again, this is a young Twins team that traded everybody at the All-Star break and said, it's over for us. We don't even care at this point. And then all of a sudden turn it on and find themselves beating out teams like the Royals, beating out teams like, I have it here. Here it is. Beating out teams like the White Sox are trash. They beat up the Royals. Let's go with that. But as far as the wild card picture goes, they held off the Angels, who are led by Mike Trout. They held off Seattle, who are led by Robinson Cano. They held off Texas, who are led by no one. But to be fair, the Twins were going to make it anyway. Outside of the Angels, who finished under 500, the Twins finished over 500. Twins have a better team. They were a better young team. The other teams need to learn from it. But tonight they face my Yankees. And do I feel the Yankees will win tonight? I do think they're going to win. If they lose, I won't be surprised because Joe Girardi is a terrible manager, and I'm leaving it at that. With that being said, there's another wild card game tomorrow, kids. Tomorrow being October 4th, for those of you that like to watch the show later in the week. October 4th, this Wednesday, and that game will be against two divisional rivals, the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Colorado Rockies. And some think that the Arizona Diamondbacks are the most underrated team that are in the postseason. They think when they face if they beat the Rockies and then they go on to face the Dodgers are going to lose to Arizona because Arizona just got firepower, man. These guys are good. They got a solid pitcher staff. They have very good hitters. One good hitter in particular, and Paul Goldschmidt. They got a lot of here's Goldschmidt right here, who he had 120 RBIs again. He's a quietly good ball player. Nobody knows about him because he plays in Arizona and nobody watches Arizona games. But then their pitcher staff is solid. They led by Zach Greinke, who's going to pitch tonight. And they're going to take on the Rockies, who have been to the playoffs a few times. In fact, been to the World Series. In that weird gray area in the 2000s, like the Yankees weren't any good and the Red Sox was winning and teams like the Tampa Bay Rays were going in. It was just a weird time for baseball. But the Rockies have been to the World Series. Arizona has been and has won the World Series, but neither team has been relevant in the conversation in some time. So tonight is the night where we think that Arizona wins. Tomorrow night is the night we think Arizona can win it, move on, face the Dodgers, and potentially beat the Dodgers. I don't think they will. I think they may lose tomorrow night to Colorado. Colorado, led by Charlie Blackmon, who put up .331 this year, led the National League in batting average. He also hit 37 home runs. The rest of it, and then he had another guy, the third baseman, Nolan Arrieta, who hit 37. Two guys put up 37. So Colorado is known for their firepower, and if you're Arizona, you only got one game. And Zach Greinke's known for blowing some games, even though he's a good pitcher. But there are other teams in it. Damn, that minute went by fast. There are other teams in it. The other teams that don't have to play in the wild card game are teams like the Red Sox and the Astros, the Cubs and the Nationals. We're going to see. Now, the Cubs and the Nationals, something that is the best series, and those are the best two teams, and whoever wins that goes to the World Series. I'm here to call it now. Let me put my cards on the table. I got the Yankees winning it all. Every year I got the Yankees winning it all. But I'm realistic, and I have to give an unbiased opinion here. I really don't. It's my show. I do whatever I want. But I try to. I believe, and this is going to be hard for me to say, that the Red Sox will probably make the World Series because their pitcher staff is that good, face the Washington Nationals, and then lose to the Washington Nationals as Bryce Harper just goes yard in Fenway Park a bunch of times. But that, to me, I think is the best case scenario for baseball outside of the Yankees versus the Dodgers in the World Series, or the Yankees versus the Cubs in the World Series, or the Yankees versus the Nationals in the World Series, or just the Yankees in the World Series. I think if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, I think the Red Sox are in. I think Houston played in a terrible division. Let's wrap this segment up, and I'll tell you why. If you look at Houston had a 21-game lead. Come on. They've been caking it the whole time, where teams like the Indians had to face at least the Twins, and the Yankees and the Red Sox had to beat up on each other. So yeah, I'm not going to believe that this Houston team is just going to cruise to the World Series. No, I don't see it. I don't. I think they lose to the Red Sox in 5. Two teams got good pitcher stats, but I think they lose to the Red Sox in 5. Red Sox go on, face the Yankees in the American League Championship Series, where we win. But if we can't get past the first round to that, then the Red Sox go to the World Series. I called it. So remember I said it here first. Red Sox Nationals World Series if the Yankees don't win tonight. If the Yankees win tonight, Yankees versus whoever in the World Series, and we win, and I go 8. You know what? Anyway, when we return, we close the show out. This is Downright Sports. Monday, October 2nd, heinous act happened. A sick individual decided to murder 59 people and wound over 500. This happened in Las Vegas. These people were just enjoying themselves. Doesn't matter what their backgrounds were they white, black, whatever. It doesn't matter. They were enjoying themselves. They were at a concert. We know now that it wasn't any religious, any country-related incident. Just a sick person. I here will not put that person's name out. I don't feel like we should idolize them. I don't feel like we should put them on a plateau. It doesn't matter who did it. I think what matters is we need to, as a country, start asking the important questions. Why do we need this? And this being, why do we need weapons that are so destructive? They do situations like Las Vegas or Orlando or Sandy Hook or, the church in South Carolina. I understand that, we're allowed to have weapons. We're allowed to have guns in this country. I don't own one. I never felt I needed one, and I'm pretty much sure that if a situation called for it, I wouldn't get to it in time. There are people that are trained to have them. Cops, military, that's what they do because they have to protect and serve. So I understand there's a purpose for them. I'm not sure. People like to hunt, so their purpose is for them there. I have close friends who own many guns, and I don't see them any differently. They use them for hunting. They use them for, relaxing, stress relief. But the people who make the laws need to stop looking at money, stop looking at fear from what some corporation or some guy says, and start really touching on, okay, where do we draw the line in the sand? Because it's becoming too easy in certain places to just purchase a gun that the military doesn't even use. You get what I'm... so, again, my heart and my family, we send our prayers to the people of Las Vegas. A lot's been going on. But this needs to be known. Like, this wasn't done by a foreign terrorism organization outside of this great nation. This was done by a person that was born and raised here, which a lot of it tends to always happen. But they're sick. And you can't brandish everybody that's sick. But we can make it harder for people to just purchase this stuff. I don't want to put my business out there, but I'll leave it at this. I can't get a credit card if my credit score isn't a certain way. And trust me, I've applied. I've applied for a Best Buy credit card 5 times. I've been denied all 5 times. But if I go for an automatic weapon that lets off 600 rounds per second, I think I got a better chance of getting it. And that's where I say our priorities need to be checked. And if you disagree with me, so be it. That's your right. But we need to ask ourselves, does Las Vegas, Sandy Hook, Orlando need to keep happening? Because if your answer is, well, if you had a gun, Las Vegas has very lenient gun laws, a lot like like Texas or Virginia. Those people, some might have been packing. They weren't able to shoot back at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm not saying let's get rid of weapons. I'm saying we need to find a way to regulate it so these situations don't happen again. All right. So thank you for watching. Next, we will have another show, NBA preview show. And you guys be safe out there. Deuces.